Welcome to the HMS Wellington Immersive VR experience. I'm Jacob Dell. I'm one of the founders of IMITO, and I'm also the experience manager here at the HMS Wellington Immersive VR experience. The HMS Wellington is a really important ship, one of the last remaining convoy escorts from the war. And having this experience on the HMS Wellington allows visitors to step on board and be transported back into history. And through VR technology, they feel like they are really there.
We call HMS Wellington the workhorse of the war. She sailed 248,000 miles on convoy escort duty, guarding the merchant navy ships that brought all the goods to our shores during the war. She saw action rescuing passengers from two different places. One was Saint-Valery-en-Caux, where she helped to rescue over 300 soldiers from the 51st Highland Division who were stuck on the shore east of Le Havre after Dunkirk. Sometimes the danger beneath was obvious through her tracking on ASDIC and radar, and she would shepherd the ships to our shores by hoping to chase off a U-boat and not allowing it to attack us or any of the ships. Didn't always work, but at the same time, she did a fantastic job.
We are incredibly proud to be delivering this experience aboard HMS Wellington, one of London's most iconic heritage vessels, and to be sharing her legacy with a new generation of visitors. The experience itself is a 30-minute VR journey that transports audiences back to the Second World War, telling the remarkable story of the ship and her heroic actions during the conflict. We use cutting-edge immersive technology so that visitors can experience the atmosphere, the sounds and the stories of the ship and connect with its history in ways that feel both alive and immediate. My co-founder and CTO Mario Mokarram, as well as the rest of the team, have produced this experience using Epic Games' Unreal Engine 5.5 and MetaHuman technologies. They've created 4K panoramic video renders and put them directly onto MetaQuest 3 VR headsets, giving visitors a first-person perspective of what life was like during the war. This is another step in our mission to merge historical authenticity with the most advanced tools in virtual production.
We used Unreal Engine to produce the content for the Wellington Immersive VR experience. And the reason for that was because we wanted to make it as lifelike as possible. Here you can see some of the photorealistic images that we managed to generate and project on a MetaQuest 3 headset. All in all, it's been one of the nicest projects I've had the pleasure of leading and managing, so we're very happy with the results.
I think what you don't get from a normal history lesson or a history textbook is really that emotive aspect. Obviously you see in history textbooks, numbers and statistics and facts, but you don't really truly comprehend, the scale and what that means. But, having, transported yourself in that world, you really do get to have a sense of the magnitude of the events, particularly with something like World War II.
I think the 15-minute film at the beginning was very insightful, and if you didn't know anything or much about the history of the HMS Wellington, then it really allowed you to experience that and give you a good insight into what you were here to learn about. And then obviously moving on into the rooms that you could visit, the production of that was fantastic, being able to speak to real life people, experience the weapons that were used on the ship and in the area at the time, I found very interesting.
I felt like the attention to detail on the aspects of the ships, all of the details like the interiors, the pipelines, all of the machinery. As a shipping nerd, I did quite appreciate the small details. Even on the ports, you saw the oil rigs.
I think the mix of interaction and storytelling was really helpful to keep the production exciting, as you got to listen and enjoy, but also you felt very much a part of the experience.
I think being on the ship definitely helps lending itself to the immersion. The fact that you have to walk right into the ship, take the stairs into it and then walk into the main gallery and putting the headset on. As you can definitely see from the interior, you could imagine all of these soldiers and all of these people from that time on this ship working, living, eating, and you're there just sort of, experiencing a small bit of that experience just being in the same ship itself.
Well, I've seen the VR myself a few times, and I know my reactions increase every time I see it because I spot things that I didn't see before. I've also watched audiences experiencing the VR, and it's quite amusing to see them moving about and enjoying what they're seeing. Our reports from visitors are that they absolutely love it, and it does help to bring the ship alive for those visitors who come on board. I think virtual reality is exactly the way to go for a heritage ship. It's hard to imagine what went on board when you see her in her peacetime livery, if you like. But what went on board is a perfect subject for virtual reality and the experience that people have of being in the middle of everything while these actions were happening.